Health advocates and the chemical industry are facing off in Washington this week.
It's a move to update safety standards for chemicals used in everyday products. Today, Barbara Boxer's Senate subcommittee met to discuss the overhaul of the 1970s federal chemical regulation. The Safe Chemicals Act would allow the EPA to require proof that they are safe before they're put on the market. Among those testifying is a San Francisco firefighter.
CBS 5 Consumer Watch reporter Julie Watts explains he hopes the feds take a cue from California, which is rewriting its own 1970s regulation.
San Francisco's Rescue 1 is the busiest firehouse in the country, and Tony Stefani was its proud captain until he was forced to retire due to a rare form of cancer.
And he goes, the type of cancer you have is normally found in people that work in the chemical industry. And I sort of smiled a little bit. I guess, well, I'm a fireman, Doc. I guess I sort of do work in the chemical industry.
Stefani's referring to the pounds of chemical flame retardants added to furniture to comply with the 1970s California Flammability Regulation, Technical Bulletin 117. High levels of those flame retardants linked to cancer are being found in the blood of firefighters, believed to be from the toxic soot on their gear. But since the chemicals migrate and settle in dust, studies show the flame retardant levels have dramatically increased in toddlers, breast milk, and babies as well.
We do know that it lowers IQ, that it does slow brain development.
And State Senator Mark Leno says California's regulation is poisoning the world because most manufacturers make all of their products to California's antiquated standards.
It's supposed to withstand the 12-second open flame.
Scientist Donald Lucas explains that's the 40-year-old requirement of TB 117. But it only applies to the foam inside the furniture, which is why manufacturers douse it with chemicals. He demonstrates in an actual fire it's the fabric that catches first, and once it's ignited, he says the chemicals have little effect except to produce toxic smoke and carbon monoxide.
The chemicals are actually more dangerous and are not saving any lives.
Senator Leno's been sponsoring measures to change the standard for 5 years, but each attempt was killed in committee following heavy lobbying from the chemical industry. Now, finally, a victory. Governor Brown stepped in, and the California agency responsible for the rule is rewriting it, focusing on naturally fire-resistant fabrics as opposed to chemicals. But Stefani has made it his mission to ensure the new protections are national. He's now working with researchers and testifying before the U.S. Senate.
But the problem is that even if the self-contained breathing apparatus is taken off, these chemicals do have the ability to permeate parts of this equipment.
Now, while Stefani is testifying in favor of new federal standards for chemicals in general, many expect California's new standard to have a national impact, at least on flame retardants. Workshops here this week are allowing for input from manufacturers on the new regulation, which is expected by the end of the year. The chemical industry is also at those meetings, arguing that flame retardants do save lives and, quote, no one should support changes that weaken fire safety standards.